On November the 19th, journalists Stewart and Jeff Semple published a global news exposé, The Canadians in Hamas, reporting that there are 450 Canadians with ties to the Palestinian terrorist group Hamas. As Matthew Levitt, a senior fellow at the Washington Institute for Near East Policy, explained, those ties could range from full-fledged Hamas members to individuals who served in the terror group's government in some capacity. Because Hamas is a listed terrorist entity in Canada, any participation in or support for the group is illegal. This report exposed the obvious. Canada must be vigilant in confronting the threat posed by individuals with terrorist links and ensure this country is never allowed to become a safe haven where extremists can live, operate, and disappear into the background undetected. Yet just 3 months later, a new Toronto Sun article has been published that alleges that more than 700 agents linked to Iran's Islamic Republic regime are currently residing in Canada. Iran is the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism, with tentacles funding Hamas, Hezbollah, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, and its offshoot, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Quds Force, which are all, by the way, classified as terrorist organizations by the Canadian government. The Iranian regime also actively engages in foreign interference and transnational repression of Canadian citizens of Iranian origin. It is engaged in coercive practices against Canadians, including monitoring, harassing, and intimidating members of community groups or those critical of the regime, and has even placed death threats on Canadians, including a failed attempt to assassinate former Canadian Justice Minister and Jewish Canadian Irwin Cotler. So my question to the federal government, RCMP, CSIS, and security agencies in Canada is this. With multiple reports over the past 3 months exposing how terrorists and those with terror ties are exploiting Canada's system to their advantage, how many more warning signs do Canadians need before our leadership accepts that there is a real problem with terrorists abusing Canada as a safe haven and take concrete action to protect Canadians? Canada cannot afford to be a place where terrorists or those with terror ties can hide in plain sight without consequence. Anyone with terrorist ties must be investigated and dealt with swiftly, instead of being allowed to potentially remain a threat to public safety. And Canada's news media must keep beating that drum, demanding that our leaders act responsibly and decisively to protect Canadians from the threat of terrorism.
جمهوری اسلامی با خون چند صد هزار